we have a new theme that we're starting today. So it's super exciting. Rather than just tell you what the theme is, we're going to play a guessing game. So I have some animals, pictures of animals that I want to show you. And I want you to try and guess what they have in common. Okay, so let me get my camera going so that, let me see. Let me get my camera going so that you can see the pictures. And I want you to try and think, what do these animals have in common? Okay, here we go. Penguins. That's one. Elk. So start thinking, what do these animals have in common? Swallow. So penguin and elk, swallow. Ooh, monarch butterfly. Arctic tern. What do they have in common? Caribou. Goose. Wildebeest. Humpback whale. And I have a dragonfly. Let's see if you can see it there. There you go. What do you think they have in common? That's a tricky question because they do live in different areas, right? They move in different ways. Well, okay, let me think of a hint I can give you. Think about geese. And I think sometimes you see geese in Olympia. I see them. Think about a time when you see them flying. How are they flying and what are they doing? Have you ever seen them like flying in that V formation? Oh, it goes like this, the V formation. Yeah. Okay. What about caribou? Caribou, or another word for caribou is reindeer. Do you know something that they do? I want you to think about these animals and see if you can think of something that they do in the changing of the seasons. Like when it goes from fall to winter, or when spring rolls around, it starts turning back into summer. Can you think of anything that these animals or insects might do? This is tricky, yeah. So we're going to go back to our geese example or the caribou. Even if you can think about penguins do this. All of these animals do this. They start with an M. M-I, have you heard this word before? Migrate? All of these animals migrate. Okay, elk, butterflies, wildebeest, penguins, Arctic tern, humpback whale, swallows, caribou, geese, and dragonflies all migrate. Now, migrate means that an animal moves from one place to another with the seasons, okay? So it's something that they do regularly, like that group of animals does it every year at a particular time. They move from one area to another area. They might move through air, on water, or in water, on land. They might go a short distance. They might go a really far distance. And they go for different reasons. And we'll learn all about that. We're learning about migrating animals. This is so cool because there's different ways that animals migrate, different reasons that they migrate, and all different types of animals that migrate. So this is a really fun thing to learn about because we can learn so much about migrating animals. Today, I thought we'd start out with a book. It's a pretty cool book. It has beautiful pictures and the words are interesting. And it'll just give us an introduction to migrating animals. So That means we're not going to learn a whole lot, everything that we can learn about migrating animals today. We're just going to learn a little bit today, an introduction to see what this unit might be about. You have a paper that looks like this, and it says, I can draw animals that migrate during the winter. Okay, so we're mostly going to be talking about animals that go someplace to adapt for the winter, okay? So they go someplace during the winter for particular reasons, for different reasons. Okay, so this area here is for you to draw pictures of animals that migrate. Now, as we read our book today, you'll notice that we'll talk about a bunch of different animals. And those are the different animals that you can start adding to this paper. So the animals that you know that migrate, if you know some already, you can draw on here, or listen when we read our book today and you'll get some examples. And then I'm going to want you to draw some animals on this paper that migrate. So we'll just start building our knowledge with some pictures of animals that migrate. So that gives us some examples of animals that migrate. Let's read a book together. Here we go. Just take me a second. Here we go. Okay, this book is called How Far Home? See that question mark? How Far Home? Animal Migrations. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Every year, thousands of animals go on a journey. It is often a trek of many miles. This trip is unique for every species. Some fly, others climb, many swim a great distance. But where are they all going? Season to season, weather changes. In spring, rain falls, plants grow, but in winter, the sun sinks lower, the air turns colder. When the seasons change, many animals travel to a warmer winter home to survive. This journey is called migration. Let's meet a few of the travelers. Some migrations are very short. Many snakes live in Shawnee Forest in Illinois. In the summer, these reptiles crowd a wet swamp. But every winter, they slither off, crossing a road to their winter home. The dry cliffs there keep them warm. That would be neat to see. So there's one animal, these snakes. You can think of the snakes that migrate. That might be something you add to your drawing. Oh, let's see. Down here, it shows you how far they're going, okay? And so these snakes go, this says feet. So they go about 10 feet. That's about 2 of me. That's how far the snakes migrate. Okay. Each year, Christmas Island near Australia hosts a great migration. This island is home to red crabs. When the rains begin, the crabs start to move. They crawl from the forest to the sea. All of them travel at the same time. When they reach the water, the crabs lay their eggs. This is where their babies are born. And it shows here with miles. And it shows that they travel about 4 miles. Right? That's a lot farther than those snakes go. So these crabs are something you might add to your drawing of animals that migrate. Bighorn sheep roam in the Rocky Mountains. They live here in the summer, but when it grows cold, plants up high start to die. The sheep must move homes. They begin a steep climb down before they can find plants to chew. This is how they live through the winter. So instead of just staying high up on the mountaintops, they migrate down to where it's not as cold and snowy. And so it shows here's the miles. They start up here high in the mountains. It shows that they go about 20 or 25 miles to find their new home for the winter. Some migrations cover miles and miles. You may have seen or heard a Canada goose. These feathered friends migrate every winter. That's what I was talking about, the V. See the V here? They soar south in flocks in search of warmer weather. In one day, they can travel up to 1,500 miles. That's the distance from New York City to Austin, Texas. Holy smokes, that is far. Look at those Canada geese. It's not only birds that fly south in winter. Some insects do too. Every fall, monarch butterflies head south because they can't survive cold winters. Some think 1 billion monarchs land in Mexico every winter. Here they mate. They return north in the summer to lay eggs and find food. So they go, let's see, 0 miles all the way up to 3,000 miles. Holy smokes. Okay, you could add butterflies or Canada geese. Even fish change homes. King salmon are born in rivers. In time, they swim to the ocean, but they return home to have babies. To go back, the salmon will swim 2,000 miles, and they must swim upstream. We knew all about the salmon, right? Because we live where the salmon do this. So here's salmon swimming. They go 2,000 miles sometimes on their journeys. Small birds can travel long distances. The rufous hummingbird has a nectar diet. They need fresh flowers to live. In the winter, they head to sunny spots in Mexico where they can find flowers in bloom. It shows that they migrate up to 4,000 miles. Wow. So you might add a hummingbird to your picture. The Arctic tern may be small, but this seabird has the world's longest migration. In summer, these birds breed near the Arctic Circle. So they breed up here, up north near the Arctic Circle. When they get to Antarctica, it's summer there too. So they spend, because the seasons are reversed, so they spend summer up here in the Arctic, and then they go, when it's winter in the Arctic, they fly down here to the Antarctic, and it's summer when they get there. Their S-shaped route to Antarctica and back covers 59,650 miles. Migration journeys will always be one of nature's wonders. That is an incredible distance. That is amazing that they go that far. Wow. And it shows here some animals in North America that this is where we live, right around in here. Some animals that migrate. Oh, here's the salmon. These are ones up in Alaska, the king salmon. Let's see, here's the rufous hummingbird. Goes right through where we live. Monarch butterflies. Canada goose. Here's some more butterfly migrations. Okay. Interesting. So we got to learn about some animals. Let's just flip back through the pages and see what animals we might want to add to our papers. The Arctic tern, the rufous hummingbird, king salmon or other types of salmon, monarch butterflies, Canada goose, bighorn sheep, crabs, those are red crabs, and some snakes. Okay, so you might want to add, here's a picture that kind of shows all of them. You might want to add any of those animals to your paper, and other ones that we showed earlier, that I showed you earlier, were dragonfly. Here's a goose and monarch butterfly, which we talked about. Humpback whales, wildebeest, and following wildebeest are often zebras. There's the Arctic tern. Elk kind of do a migration similar to the bighorn sheep. Caribou or reindeer. Penguins. Swallows. And if you know any other animals, these aren't the only animals that migrate. There's so many animals that migrate. If you know other animals that migrate, feel free to add some to your paper. So I can draw animals that migrate during the winter. And some of them, they take a trip back usually in the summer. So it could say just animals that migrate. Okay, but draw your picture. I want you to draw at least 5 animals on here. Okay, and I want you to think that If you want to rewind in the video and look at the page that had all different examples of animals, you could do that. And also just think about what the animals look like and do your very best to draw them. It's okay if they don't look exactly like they do in real life or exactly like they do in the book. If you're doing your best to draw that animal, that's what matters. Okay, do you remember how many I want you to draw? 5 animals on your paper. And do you remember what our new theme is? What's our new theme? Migrating animals. So be sure to tell your family all about what our new theme will be. Okay, have fun and draw away. Bye, everyone.